in good health and high spirit. My name is Haris Kunchoro. I reside in Columbia, Maryland, USA. I serve as president of Indonesian American Association, or known as IAA. Thank you for everyone of you for being here virtually with us today. We are proud to be able to host IAA Business Talk with two special guests this evening. The first special guest is Pak Wijayanto. Selamat malam, Pak Wijayanto.
Selamat malam, good evening, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Wijayanto, for your time and to join us this evening. Pak Wijayanto will give the opening remark as a trade attaché from Embassy of Indonesia. And our next special guest as a key speaker is Miss Felicia Pullam. Good evening, Miss Felicia.
Hi, thanks. Glad to be here.
Miss Felicia Pullam is the Regional Manager Asia from Maryland Department of Commerce. Thank you for your time and for sharing with us your knowledge and your resources for about export and import. And also special thanks goes to Bu Mimi Stricker for connecting us with Miss Felicia Pullam. Also Pak Rahmat Putranto for spreading this invitation all over the world. Thank you, Pak Rahmat. Pak Rahmat and Bu Mimi will be our moderator today. And also thank you, Pak Oscar, Pak Victor, Pak Nur, Bu Wati, Bu Nadia, and everyone who generously helped us to make this event come together. So before we get started, I would like to take a moment to briefly introduce our IAA Board of Trustees. So let me share my screen. Okay, I don't know why this didn't coming in. So my screen doesn't allow me to share. So just a little bit about the IAA. IAA was founded in 1952, originally as known as IKI, Ikatan Keluarga Indonesia, in early days. So before IKI is from serve the Indonesian embassy family, and then later on IKI become independent, and in 2014 IKI registered as an IAA, Indonesian American Association, as a non-profit charitable organization in Washington, D.C. So I would like to introduce our chairman, Pak Oscar Zaki. Pak Oscar.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Glad to have everybody here.
Pak Oscar is our chairman. Before Pak Oscar is served as a president of IAA. And as a president, myself, Haris Kunchoro, and as a vice president, I don't see Nadia is here. As a vice president, is Nadia Sahmalina. I think she's not here today. Okay. And Mr. Secretary is Victor Pationakota. Pak Victor.
Halo. Selamat malam, selamat pagi Bapak Ibu. Senang bisa berjumpa di sini.
Yeah.
Pagi, Pak.
Our treasurer is Ibu Endang Setiawati. Bu Wati. Mbak Wati. And okay. And also we have the regular trustee, Pak Rahmat Putranto. Pak Rahmat.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Pak Rahmat will be our moderator today. And Bu Mimi Stricker. as our board of trustee as well, and Pak Jaya Hassan, Pak Jaya.
Oh.
And the last but not least is Pak Nur Rahmanto. Pak Nur.
Master Grand.
So, yeah, I just want to highlight, we have executive committee. One of our executive committee is about the business development. So we have business resources group. Pak Rahmat will elaborate more, but I think most of the member is actually right here. I think attend this meeting. So our goal is just simple. Our goal is just develop our business as a community, and most of the member of the BRG is a small business owner from food industry, services, trade, design and construction, as well as IT. So I think I strongly believe in the next hour will be fun. We will learn a lot of stuff from Felicia Pullam, learn something new, gain our knowledge, and the most important is adding more friend and network, and see what we can do together. See how we can collaborate each other. So collaboration is the key word today to facing the next challenge. So we're dealing with the post-pandemic, we call it a new normal, and also how we can leverage today's technology, and how we can see the generation change as our opportunity. So I don't want to take too much time, so let me close my welcoming remark with African proverb from a movie. I think the title of the movie is Good Lie in 2014. The movie is based on the true story. It's about the Sudanese immigrant who fought really hard to get a medical degree in US and make sacrifice and save more people in Sudan. And at the end of the movie, I just remember that it said, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So thank you, and hopefully you will enjoy this event. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Next, I will invite Pak Wijayanto to give the opening remark. Pak Wijayanto, silakan Pak Wijayanto.
Thank you, Pak Haris, for the timing. And then I would like to send my. Okay, I'm continue my remarks. Honorable Mr. Haris and Pak Oscar Zaki, and all of the Board of Trustee of Indonesian American Association, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's such a pleasure for me to be here, and I think I would like to say welcome to guests. Good morning in Indonesia, and also good evening in US. I would like to also give special thanks to Bu Mimi, speaker, and the team as well, and particularly to the Miss Felicia Pullam, Regional Manager of Asia, Maryland Department of Commerce. It is a kind of a very happy time for me that can be here and given the remarks, because the event is so important, particularly in the midst of the pandemic COVID-19, which has challenges to global trade performance. And that's because of that, has allowed me to therefore thank to the IAA, cooperate with Maryland Department of Commerce for organizing this event, which has given me a unique opportunity to share my thoughts with you about Indonesia and the USA trade performance. I'm going to talk about the trade performance between two countries, First, I would like to talk about the overview market in the US. As we all know, that US is the biggest economy with the GDP of about 21.4 trillion US dollar. And for the import itself is about 2.34 trillion US dollar in 2020. And the USA is also biggest domestic and customer with high purchasing power, parity with about 65,000 US dollar GDP per capita. And in addition with that, US is also a very competitive market, and customer request a qualified good and competitive price with a variety of standard and also kind of certificate. And in terms of our data itself, that the USA is the second largest of our non-oil and gas products to US, behind the China, and our export is about 20.23 billion US dollar in 2020. And we move about the overview of our products itself. Indonesia export a lot of products to US, ranging from the product, then rubber products, furniture, and also seafood and electronics. And out of that is many commodities. We also have to increase the US market. And in order of that, we also emphasize the importance of trade relation between two countries, because Indonesia also inviting investor as well as the potential products from US as our raw material and supporting material for our industry. So I think the mutual cooperation in terms of the trade relation is very important for us. And I think I would like also hoping that this event is very meaningful and have a productive information for all of the attendees today. And I hope that my sign here as a commercial attaché, I'm also very happy to assist all of the attendees if you have any question or with regards to the export potential in USA. And without further ado, I think this is all of my remarks, and I hope that everybody would like have the fruitful and productive discussion. I think I'm also not be able to have full of this event because I have the same meeting in Jakarta. I have the annual meeting, so maybe I have to leave about 30 minutes after now. Thank you, Pak Haris, for the time.
Oh, terima kasih, Pak. Terima kasih. That's not a problem, Pak. I know that you're busy. Thank you for your time to join us, this evening. Okay, I think we're gonna hit the main acara hari ini. Pak Rahmat.
Okay.
Pak Rahmat, silakan Pak Rahmat.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to let me introduce myself. My name is Rahmat Putranto. I'm honored to be your moderator tonight with Mbak Mimi. So before I give this mic to Mbak Mimi, I would like to let you know about how to introduce about the business resource group that we already formed since end of 2018. So since then, this business resource group, well, usually we just using the WhatsApp group, but day by day, month by month, this group is become bigger and bigger. And the purpose of this business resource group is just to connect the dot for the business people, and also for give the opportunity for their business to introduce in the group. And the other hand is we're trying to reach out our friends and all over the world to join our group, and then we can discuss more. So today is the good time for everyone to learn about how to do business together between US and Indonesia. Please, I'll let you, Miss Mimi, to introduce our guest speaker today. Please, Bu Mimi.
It is my honor to get to introduce Felicia. Felicia is the Regional Manager for Asia from the Office of International Investment and Trade at the Maryland Department of Commerce. She will share her presentation on resources from Maryland and from the federal government to help Maryland companies to grow export of goods and services. She assists East and Southeast Asia companies to establish and expand their business in the United States. She also helped Maryland company expand their export and help them find partners in overseas. Before joining the Maryland team, Felicia was the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Textile, Consumer Goods, and Material at the U.S. Department of Commerce. Please review her bio. You will be amazed to see all her skills. Because I don't want to waste so much time. She has so much information, you know, but look at her skill and try to reach out to her. We are blessed to have her to share her presentation with us. And as I said, God willing, we will lead delegation next year to Indonesia, right? Without further ado, let us give a warm welcome to Felicia to share her presentation. Thank you. Now the floor is yours, Felicia.
Oh, thank you so much. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. So thank you so much for the warm welcome. And, you know, I'm so excited to see everybody on Zoom tonight, and just really excited to have this connection with Indonesia. I think it's probably been, I have not been back to Indonesia since 2009 was my last trip. So I'm really, really overdue for another trip to Indonesia. So I hope to be able to travel there again soon. And also, I hope to be able to travel to DC again soon and see more of you in person there, you know, as soon as the coronavirus has passed. So let me just share my screen here. It looks like I'm not able to share my screen.
Let me help you, Felicia, if you want.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Can you see everyone?
Yeah.
Is that full?
Yeah.
Full screen? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Can we go back? I think we're on slide.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Let me know. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm with the Maryland Department of Commerce. And so, you know, our job is to work with the business sector and to promote job creation and, you know, vibrant economic development here in the state of Maryland. So within the Department of Commerce, we have the Office of International Investment and Trade. And so we have about 7 people. And we've divided the world between 4 of us, and we're the regional managers. And so one of the areas that I cover is Southeast Asia. And so we have kind of a threefold mission. One part of our mission is to work with foreign companies to attract them to come and establish operations in Maryland. The second thing is to work with Maryland companies to help them increase exports overseas. And in some cases, it's helping companies who have never exported before learn how to and start exporting. And then the third thing that we do is we want to try to raise awareness of the state of Maryland and kind of, you know, make sure people know where it is. And so, you know, to that, I'll say a few words about, I know many of you on the call are in the DC area, so you probably know very well where Maryland is. But you know, we're a state of about 6 million people, and we're we're just kind of around part of DC. So the Washington DC was actually carved out originally from Maryland and Virginia. And so sometimes we think of DC as Maryland's biggest city. But we also have Baltimore, which is another major city on the Northeast corridor. So we have a lot of the advantages of being close to a major US city, but also with lower costs. So, many people that work in DC live in Maryland, and many organizations that want to do business in DC or do business in Philadelphia or Delaware, Pennsylvania as a whole, New York City, find that coming to Maryland is advantageous because some parts of Maryland have much lower costs. So some people see Maryland, we've got the suburban area around DC, the urban area of Baltimore, but we also we kind of think of Maryland as a bit of a microcosm of most of the types of scenery that you can find in the United States. We don't have deserts, but we do have mountains, and we have a lot of oceanfront, lakes. We have got the Chesapeake Bay, which is an important natural resource. And we have a lot of seafood that comes from there. So we've got, forests, and so you can have kind of the beautiful natural scenery that we have here, but also be very close to the urban environment. And so in keeping with that, some of our major industries are, manufacturing. So especially manufacturing to supply the people that live, on the Northeast corridor from, DC and even south of there up through New York and even up to Boston. This also includes food processing and distribution. So there are a lot of companies that bring food, they import food into the Port of Baltimore. And then from there, it's distributed to all of the hungry people eager to eat international food throughout the East Coast. We also have strong cybersecurity, defense, aerospace, and general kind of IT industries. We've got biotech and medical devices. The National Institutes of Health and the FDA are located in Maryland, so that's an important advantage here. Agribusiness, in some parts of Maryland, we've got beautiful farmland, and so we're happy to support this thriving agribusiness scene. And then, of course, finally, I think I already mentioned aerospace. So that's a quick nutshell of Maryland. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want this to be an advertisement for Maryland, but instead I want to talk about how we can work together. And there's really two sets of services that we offer. One is for Indonesian companies, and then another type of services is for Maryland companies. So an important thing to note is that if an Indonesian company comes to Maryland and establishes operations here in the state, then they also become a Maryland company. So, we offer the same services to, international companies that locate in Maryland as we do to, any company that's established here. So, if there's an international company that wants to learn about doing business here or wants to start doing business here, we can assist in a few key ways. One, we can provide information about the market in Maryland. So for example, if you make a certain type of medical device and you want to understand whether we have certain scientists or the right workforce for your manufacturing facility, or how much do we pay, how much are the average salaries for certain types of professions, how big a market there is for a certain type of product, we can do our best to help you find that information. So the second thing that we can do is information about Maryland's business governance and regulatory framework. So obviously when you're starting to do business in a new country, it's always a bit of a learning curve because you need to understand what the business community here is like, who you can talk to and work with, potential partners, but also the sort of governance and the regulatory framework that you have to abide by. So, we can help you get information on that. We can also assist with information on how to access government programs. So, for example, we do have some grants for workforce training and other types of resources. So if you want to set up a facility and you want to learn, how to make sure that you're in compliance with OSHA, OSHA regulations, that's workplace safety regulations, then my colleagues in another department will actually help and work very closely and advise companies on that. And so we can help any company really understand what are the resources that you can get from anywhere in the state of Maryland government. So we can kind of help you be your guide to local and state government. We can also make introductions to potential partners. So if you're looking for certain types of suppliers or certain types of customers, then we can assist. And if you're looking for to identify a location to do business, we can assist with that too. So we can work with real estate agents, we can pull through databases, help you find the right kind of building or the right type of site that you need. And we can also facilitate the visit, help you plan and take you around and really give you a tour of the state. So if you are representing a business from Indonesia, then we're happy to help with all of this. If you are in the region and you know of a business from Indonesia that needs help, then please let us know, because we're happy to talk to anybody and figure out the best way that we can assist. And if we can't assist directly, we can help you find a person that can provide that assistance. So that's a kind of a basic summary of services for Indonesian companies. And I thought maybe we pause here for a second in case anyone has any questions before we move on to the next part.
If there is no question, I will ask Felicia. So basically you invite the Indonesian people or the Indonesian company to invest or open business in Maryland. Is there any minimum requirement or yeah, I think it's minimum requirement to open the business in Maryland? Please let us know. Probably there are some the Indonesian participant in Indonesia, they're interesting to open a business in Maryland. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Please.
Yeah, so there really aren't any minimum requirements. I mean, in terms of like amount of money that you have to invest or number of people that you have to hire or anything like that. So for example, we actually see very frequently, especially in the tech sector or, the biotech sector, where, a company might begin by opening an office with just 1 or 2 people. And we are right now actually working on rolling out a soft landing program. So in the state of Maryland, we've got a more than 30 different types of incubators. Some of these incubators focus on specific industries, but then some of them are also more general and can assist with any industry. And they're really all over the state. And so we're working on a program now, working with each one of these incubators to provide a kind of program where a foreign company that maybe doesn't yet have a firm plan for their investment, but wants to start exploring the US market, can come and kind of temporarily set up shop in one of these incubators, have kind of a desk for maybe 1, 2, 3 months. And, they don't have to be there all the time. Maybe they're flying back and forth from Indonesia. Maybe just once a month they come over for a week, or maybe they come over straight for 3 months. And that person will have kind of a temporary home base and kind of a program where they can get to know people in the incubator, in the local business community. They'll have people from my office and also from the incubator who can answer questions about the local market, set up some meetings for them to kind of learn about the market. Was I freezing? Because I heard a little bit of my computer kind of made a blip for a second.
Apa gitu? Aku bilang aku nggak perlu. Aku udah tua. Aku nggak udah.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Is the IAA team can help us if there is any intruder.
Okay.
Okay. So, go ahead, Felicia.
Great. Yeah. So with the incubator, at that point, you could just send somebody over to explore and make a decision. And then when a business gets to the point of formally establishing an office or operations, then they would then register their business officially with the Maryland government, and choose where their office will be. They could continue being in one of these incubators for quite a while, depending on the incubator, or they could choose a facility and start the investment. So in that sense, I mean, there really is there's no minimum. You can come over and start very small with the plan to grow. So you don't have to have a long-term commitment either.
Okay. Thank you, Felicia. Team, can you help us? Is there any question that I'll try to look still of the interesting on the opposite way. So teman-teman Indonesia, this is a good opportunity for you if you are trying to open the business in Maryland. Maybe you can, the easy way is you can join with the Indonesian diaspora to work together. We're trying to learn from the China community. They they're not only selling their product to US, but they also bringing their business in here, and then they produce something. So think about it. Okay, so is that
another question, Felicia, if I may know?
Please.
Hi, I'm Rifki from Jakarta, Gurita, Indonesia. With a company that helps small medium businesses in Indonesia to be listed in US, especially in marketplaces such as Amazon and eBay. So we already exported around 4 to 5 tons to California area at the moment. My questions would be, would it be necessary to have an established offices there, or we can have someone from Maryland company or people from Indonesia diaspora there that can help us establish our business? We basically send anything, starting from food to electronics to fashions, cosmetics to USA, and we've already grown 20 to 30% in shipping to USA. But my problem would be that we don't have anyone there to help us establish the businesses. I mean, if it's required to open an office, that would be another hassle to make.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's someone in Maryland area or anyone that can help us to bring Indonesian product there, that would be great opportunity.
Great. So I mean, it sounds like what you're looking for is a distribution partner or another type of strategic business that you could kind of align yourself with.
Distributor partners, or we call it international agents.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to follow up with me afterwards, then we could help do a search to see if there's another company here that would be willing to do that role for you.
Sure, that would be great.
Great.
After the event, can I have any contact that I can reach out after this?
Sure.
Yes, we will share you the contact person of Felicia.
Great, thank you very much.
Great. And I just popped it there in the chat too.
I have a question, like for Indonesian company that wants to have have business in Maryland, and especially they need some help from your office. Do they need to establish a company in Maryland, or can they just send like a question or come here? Do they have to have like an LLC or something established in Maryland or not?
I think it depends on what you want to do. So I think if you would just like some assistance and you have some questions, then you can just ask that from us anytime, and certainly before you establish. But then it depends on the nature of the business that you ultimately want to do, whether you want to just find a partner here or formally establish an office or another kind of operation.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Oops. Thank you. So maybe if there is no more questions, so maybe Felicia, you can continue for the next program. Go ahead.
Great. All right. So maybe we'll look at the next slide.
Okay, here.
And these are the services for Maryland-based businesses. So, this is something that specifically for our office, this is what our office does. Obviously, the state of Maryland has many other services that they provide for businesses in Maryland. And those services, tax incentives, things like that to encourage growth, that is, that's something that any business that's established in Maryland can take advantage of. So I probably should have added that to the previous discussion that, if there's an Indonesian company that wants to establish operations here, we do have different types of tax incentives that, very much depend on the industry and the size of the operation. And those tax incentives are all online, but they can be kind of complex. And they have a variety of different formulas. So that's something that we can always talk through with a company. And we can help kind of understand how those incentives would apply to a specific situation for establishing or growing a business here. So then, looking at our services specifically for companies in Maryland that want to export to Indonesia. So there's essentially 5 ways that we can help. The first way is counseling and FlexX. It's sort of what we call our overseas counseling service. 2 is ExportMD grants. And so this is a grant program. So as you can imagine, it's our most popular program. We also do subsidize some services from the US Commercial Service. We sometimes organize trade shows and host incoming delegations. And we have a Maryland Global Consulting Program that's in partnership with the University of Maryland. And so we're always trying to get the word out to any companies that have operations in here that they can take advantage of this. So next slide, please. So I'll go into the counseling and FlexX program. So essentially, like I said, we have 4 regional managers, and we're always ready to talk one-on-one with companies to provide advice. So the FlexX program specifically offers 20 hours of free assistance per year for a Maryland company from one of our 16 foreign office locations. So this can be distributor or partner search or vetting, market research, and then also understanding local regulations. So we do have a variety of offices overseas. So I've included most of our overseas offices there, just for anyone who has a company here, just as a FYI. But more specifically with Indonesia, we work with a company called Tractus that has kind of operations across many parts of Southeast Asia. So they're headquartered in Bangkok, Thailand, but they do also provide services in Indonesia, and they work with Indonesian consulting partners to help get information and assist our companies. So that's totally free, and we're happy to provide that for Maryland companies. Next one. So this is the grant program. So the ExportMD grant, that's something that we offer thanks to a grant that we received from the Small Business Administration. So for this grant, we have some eligibility requirements specifically for small businesses. And so a small Maryland company could be eligible for up to $5,000 in reimbursement for expenses associated with international marketing. So in the past, we've had a lot of companies that go overseas and they go to trade shows overseas. They may go to meet with potential customers. And so if a Maryland business wanted to go to a trade show in Indonesia, we know that can be somewhat expensive. Or if they had potential clients, then they could apply for this grant. And what it is we would reimburse up to $5,000 at a rate of 2/3, a 2/3 reimbursement rate. So in other words, if you spend $7,500 on reimbursable eligible expenses, then you would be reimbursed by us for $5,000. If you spend $3,000, you could get $2,000. So that's how it works, and that's something where we do that every month. The first of every month is the deadline, and the qualifications are that you have to be located in Maryland. You have to be in good standing with our Department of Assessments and Taxation. In other words, you have to file your taxes every year. You have to have existed for at least 1 year, defined as a small business by the SBA, and sometimes that's much larger than people expect. And you have a plan for international business. So if there, anybody on this call who has a business in Maryland and is interested in, international marketing, please let us know, because we'd love to help you with that. We have a pretty good amount of funding, and because of COVID-19, that's really decreased the number of companies that are taking advantage of this program. So the good news is that, maybe next slide, please.
Felicia, may I ask something?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So when you said Maryland company, is this supposed to be like the main office in Maryland, or can we just have like branch office in Maryland?
You can just have an office in Maryland. So the key is it still has to be a small business. And like I said, sometimes the SBA rules about what counts as a small business are actually much larger than people expect. But if there's a company that has headquarters in Virginia, but also has operations in Maryland, that company could still apply. The catch is that because this is really funded by a federal program, the company has to pick which state they apply in. And every state has a slightly different, they have like their own version of the federal program. So Virginia has a version of this, but it operates somewhat differently than ours. So the key is that you can only apply in one of the two states. You can't apply in both. But yeah, very good question. And so what does it cover? If you're going overseas, or if you need to send sample products overseas, sometimes it can be quite expensive to ship samples. So you could cover that. If you have a new product that you want to get registered in a foreign country, and you have to do some compliance testing associated with that can be counted. If you want to do some export research and subscribe to different types of tools, if you want to build a website designed to market specifically to Indonesia, if you wanted to do some sort of digital marketing in Indonesia, so maybe some social media marketing, if you wanted to join an e-commerce platform and there was some fees associated with that, or you're listing in different types of online marketplaces, or if you want to go to a virtual trade show, or some kind of virtual trade mission, that's something that could also count. So, I think in the past, we always thought about this as a travel grant, but it can be used for many more things than that. And so, if you want to do international business, but you're stuck at home, we might still be able to help you. And so the next steps, if you want to take advantage of that, is just to email me. Tell me what your priorities are, and then we'll do a telephone consultation. And then it's a pretty simple online application that's due the first of any month of the year. And we're happy to have these consultations anytime. So now number 3, I think, is the next way we can go is, let's see, one more slide. All right, so services from the U.S. commercial service. So, sometimes the U.S. commercial service can help Maryland companies in Indonesia better than we can. And so we work very closely with our federal partners. And our federal partners can provide a range of services. So they do gold key services for face-to-face meetings. They can do international partner searches for virtual introductions. And they have more than 70 offices all over the world. And that can kind of be combined with our existing services. So the U.S. commercial service charges a relatively small fee for their services. But if you work together with both us and the U.S. Department of Commerce, then we can subsidize that and reimburse you for two of their services at a 2/3 rate each year. So that pretty much summarizes that. So we'll go on to the next one. All right, trade shows on delegations. So we occasionally organize trade shows overseas, or we don't organize the trade show, we organize delegations to go to the trade shows. And so we don't do too many per year. And obviously because of COVID-19, we're not really traveling very much. But we have a range of shows that we usually go to. So we originally planned for last year, and then now planned for this year was a virtual mission to Singapore International Water Week, which I know Mimi's very disappointed that that is not actually Indonesia, but it is an international show. And so we hope that there also will be Indonesia participation there. And we want to encourage through that show any of the companies that we have in the delegation to also look at Indonesia and explore what opportunities they might find there. So that's this year. As you can see from this, we do a lot of bio and health related missions. We also do security, as you can see from Expo Seguridad, InfoSec Europe. There's some cybersecurity angles to that. And so, we hope to be looking for opportunities for other types of virtual missions. But we also welcome delegations here and try to organize activities for the visiting delegations, which can include, meeting with buyers and partners here. So that's the other thing, is welcoming delegations and trying to, help involve the business community with that. So next slide. And so the final program, I think, is very interesting, and that's the Global Consulting Program. So let's say you're a Maryland business and you want to try to figure out, really do some in-depth research, like market research, and work to identify the right markets for your products and understand who the right partners are. Well, then you can partner with this, and students from the University of Maryland, I think either graduate students or undergraduate students, will be kind of led by a professor from the University of Maryland, Robert Smith School of Business, to provide about 400 hours of consulting services. So that's something where, that's a great value. It does cost, there does cost a fee to participate. And, hopefully it's a great learning experience, both for the company and for the students involved. And hopefully that will be raising the next generation of Maryland international business leaders and get more students to look overseas. So I think that is really the summary. And then the final slide.
Okay.
Is just my contact information. So you see my phone number is right there. That's my cell number and my email address. And you can email me anytime. You can also find me on LinkedIn and connect with me that way.
Thank you, Felicia. Teman-teman dan semuanya, before we continue to answer your question, please let you know that on the chat, if you see there is some form that you have to fill up if possible, so we can have your data, so we can follow up after this meeting. And then we also going to send you the Felicia presentation. The third one, you can scroll up. There is a market intelligence that produced by Mr. Hari Sukirno. He's the agricultural attaché. So you can scroll up and then you can download the market intelligence. On that market intelligence, there are about 300 US company who import from Indonesia. So please take a look and then put in your file, and then it's about more than 100 pages. So let us continue with this Q&A if there are any. Please, I'm trying to look. Maybe Victor can help me. Is there any a good question that maybe we can read here? Sorry, I cannot it's difficulties to do that. But in the meantime, if there are any question, just raise your hand, or maybe you just open your mic, then you can ask question.
I have a question.
Please.
Hi, Felicia. Thanks very much.
Hi.
So I know Maryland has a lot of farming, a lot of farms in Maryland. Does Maryland export any farm products to Indonesia? For example, Indonesia is a major producer of tempe, which is a soybean. And last year we had a tempe project, which is how to make tempe by Indonesian in here, but we need to get some resources to get the soybean. So, and that would be a good opportunity from Maryland to export.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that that would be a great opportunity. And you know, I remember that the initiative from last year, 2019, I think.
Yes.
And I think it's a good time to maybe restart that conversation. I actually don't know any statistics about agricultural exports to Indonesia. We usually let the Maryland Department of Agriculture take the lead on that, and then we are always willing to support. And so all of our grants and services similarly apply to, you know, agricultural companies.
Okay, that's great. I know we get some grants as well, so we probably eligible to apply for more grants.
Yeah, and I know the Maryland Department of Agriculture also, there are some grants that they can advise you on from that.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rahmat.
Thank you. Is there any other question? I already put in the chat the market intelligence.
Pak Jaya tuh.
Pak Jaya, please go ahead. Go ahead, Pak Jaya.
Thank you. And I have a question about, interesting about that you say that Maryland University, they offer, maybe you can bring back that the slide, because I have some contact from Bandung, the university in Bandung, and then he looking the professor over here that become the visiting professor. Of course, by right now we cannot come over there, so like I Zoom. So they have this graduate student, a business graduate student in Bandung, and that professor looking that the visiting professor from here. So kind of like that, can you help?
That's a really interesting idea. Yeah, I mean, I would love to make an introduction to my colleagues at the Maryland, the Smith School of Business. And, you know, they might be the right ones to talk to first, and then, you know, we could think about if there's other potential partners too. But yeah, I'd love to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Is there any question regarding how can I export our product to United States or to Maryland? Is anyone have a question like that? So I will ask to Felicia. If not, somebody can raise your hand if you want asking something, because there is a lot of from Indonesia. So Felicia, there is some of the small or medium company in Indonesia that they like to export their product to United States. If you don't mind, can you a little bit explain to us what is the step by step that they can do that, please?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, yeah, I mean, I think the first most important thing to do is to really understand where the right market is for your product, right? That is the fundamental most important thing. And so, you know, obviously, like the company in Indonesia would know who their customers are in Indonesia. And so then looking at the US, like where are there potentially similar customers? And obviously, you know, it really depends on what kind of product it is. If it's like a food product, you know, then you might be looking for where are the people that are going to eat my product.
Okay.
or what do you have to do in case you might need to adapt the product to make it more attractive in the market.
Okay.
If it's an industrial product, then you have to find out where the manufacturers are.
Okay.
And so there are some ways to search online to identify different types of companies. And we don't often work with foreign exporters that want to export to Maryland, but we're happy to have conversations with them. And of course, our hope is that if an international exporter comes to the U.S. and is very successful, then eventually they'll want to open manufacturing or a facility over here. So we're always happy to have that conversation and maybe do some brainstorming.
Okay, that's good, Felicia. So everyone, so you don't forget to write it down.
Pak Rahmat, I think Mas Bayu from Indonesian Consulate, New York. Mas Bayu.
Please do, Mas Bayu. Sorry, I cannot see it. Go ahead, Mas Bayu.
Hi, I just wrote a question in the chat column. Thank you, everyone. Felicia, just want to know that I was wondering if the safest date or deadline to go to Maryland to visit for a tourism promotion, for a cultural promotion. When is the safest way to visit Maryland and to organize events in a safest way, in a safest manner? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really great question, and I think very important in this time. So, our governor's office, I think, is putting a lot of effort into putting information out. And we do have some information that's specifically relevant for companies that are operating here. But if it's an incoming delegation and there's sort of cultural activities, we can, actually the Maryland Department of Tourism is also in the Maryland Department of Commerce. So our colleagues normally work in the same building as we do. But, we talk and can easily talk to them on the phone and get their advice to advise on that. And then, we do have some guidelines for, running activities, running businesses. And so what we could do is share those with organizations that are interested. And then, we're also available to help answer questions about how that might be interpreted for what it is that they're doing. So, I think I myself am not qualified to really advise a company on when and how to do an activity or a cultural organization on when and how to do that activity safely, because I'm not a medical expert, but we do have access to the people who are medical experts in the Maryland team, and so we can help get that information for you.
Thank you, Felicia. There is a question on the chat box that is, if the question like this: if I want to export a corn, I don't know what that means. Is that corn chip and also the banana coffee dish? So I have the certificate. The question is GMO. I think it's not GMO, but FDA. What is the type of certificate that needed to bring their product to US? Is the food product? Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm afraid that I don't actually know the answer to that question, but I can look it up and I can ask some colleagues.
But yeah, I can understand, Felicia. You already told me before. But for my friend Pak Heru, mostly when you export your product, for example, the food process, you need the FDA certificate. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. And if you need more information, just email to my colleague here at the IAA. I will give you some more information how to get the FDA certificate or USDA certificate. I have the contact person. You can call them directly or email them directly. That's a question. Okay, is there any other? Okay, and now I want to introduce you that the IAA, the Indonesian American Association, right now we have the warehouse. So it's a quite big warehouse. So please, the friends, diaspora, Indonesia, please use our facility as your business what do you call it, to make a business in the US. So we have around 1,300 square feet. It's a big warehouse. Please, if you need more information about the warehouse, you can contact us. You just put your phone number and your email, then we are going to follow up about that.
Pak Rahmat,
Yes.
Rifki Edrus is raising his hand.
Oh, sorry, I cannot see. Why I cannot see? Go ahead, Rizky. I didn't see that. Okay, go ahead. Thank you, Pak.
Okay, it's really interesting hearing Felicia mentioning about working with exporter from Indonesia to be able to send Indonesian product to Maryland. This is exactly what kind of business that Gurita is doing at the moment. And then regarding information regarding of FDA, of course, we can also support the FDA process. We've done several FDA process before for Indonesian snacks to USA, and then again back to the basic questions that I mentioned earlier. Will it be able to use the warehouses that's available in IAA? That's one thing. That's the second thing is that we are exporting small businesses, small packages under 800 USD. That's the minimum de minimis for USA, right? So within that kind of services, will it be able to connect with local Indonesian sellers, which might be a diaspora there, to be able to sell Indonesian product for Indonesian people that might craving for Indonesian food at the moment because of the pandemic, people not be able to go out US to Indonesia, and some of the food might be really interesting to be able to be sent there, like gudeg or bakmi or sambal burudi perhaps. That would be our specialties to be able to send that. So yeah, of course, I'm looking forward to work with you guys and Felicia for giving those services to be able to send it to US.
Thank you, Pak. Do you have any comment, Felicia?
No, I mean, I think you're the best person to answer that.
Well, so if I may add to everybody here that the Indonesian diaspora community in Washington, D.C. is about 5,000 maybe household. Yeah, Pak Rahmat? Somewhere around there. About 5,000 household. Many of them live in Montgomery County. And we have a solid community, tight community, so everybody kind of know each other. And of course, with that large community, there's a big need. For example, the Indonesian food, the spices, batik, like what everybody's wearing here. We get batik from local Indonesian vendor, and any other things. And we have a lot of people who own businesses that may be able to help everybody to expand your businesses. So that's why we're here, and then we are connecting the dots. Everybody's different. I'm in IT. Haris is in engineering, architecture. Mas Jaya is a mechanical engineer. Mas Emil is in franchise. So there's a lot of resources in local Maryland community. So just we can connect, and again,
would be great to connect with you, Pak. Would be great to connect with you. I'm looking forward to connect with you.
Yeah, please. And another thing I would like to share with you also, the warehouse, the Indonesian warehouse owned by the diaspora is not only in Maryland, the IAA, but also in New York. There is also a huge warehouse, and also in Virginia there is 2 warehouses, and then in Houston and also in Chicago. So there is a lot of Indonesian diaspora that own their warehouse business. So please make connection with them, and then do the business each other. It's not only on the Maryland, Felicia, but in New York we have more than almost 10,000 Indonesian community. In Philadelphia we have almost 12,000. And in Chicago and surrounding, I get information from my colleague there. It's about around 15 to 20,000. So there's a big community, and the East Coast area itself is from Boston to Florida is around 25,000. So please do, and then the rest in the Middle West and also Midwest and also in California. The total is about 160,000 Indonesian diaspora. It's a big market. And then that's not including a friends of diaspora. It's more than, can be double. For example, I'm in the Indonesian diaspora. I have a US friend, is at least more than 10. So can you imagine that? So I can influence my American friend, please buy the Indonesian product. Let's we do together. This is a good opportunity to bring the power of diaspora to work together with our friend Indonesia. I encourage the business, the small business, small medium business in Indonesia. Please work together. But first goes to IAA, then IAA will help you to everywhere.
So there's another question, Pak Rahmat, from
yes, please.
Mbak Happy, you wanna just go straight ask the question?
Yes, hi Felicia. I'm actually not in Maryland. I'm in Houston.
Okay.
So I was just wondering, if I contacted this chamber of commerce, is it possible, like, the Chamber of Commerce help the Indonesian company who wants to basically open up business in the US, to extend their business in the US, to find a partners, so they don't do the business yourself. Is it possible to do that? I mean, what I mean is like the local US partners, for example, like I have these manufacturers that ready to send their product, and they know their product, it will be, like popular in the US, but they want to do it in the US, want to produce the product in the US. So is it possible for the Chamber of Commerce to like give advice, who to contact, and then, which company that might be able, good to collaborate, something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I think, it kind of depends on, our level of expertise in the area, and sometimes we're able to help a lot, sometimes we're not able to help much. But so, and I should also kind of draw like a clarification in that the Chamber of Commerce is sort of a private business entity, but then I'm with the Maryland Department of Commerce, so I'm with the government office. And so, especially if there is an Indonesian company that's looking for someone in Maryland who can help manufacture for them.
That's us.
We'd love to help with that. That's something that's very exciting.
That's where IAA comes to,
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Any other question? Especially from our friend in Indonesia. Please raise your hand. So, Mas Haris, what do you think? It's 9 o'clock, 9:11?
Yeah, we can wrap it up, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I just want to recap all our conversation. First of all, is the Indonesian US Indonesia potential business, as what Pak Wija said, is very good potential business. We should do together to get more business with the US. We cannot do by ourselves, as Mr. Haris told us. At this time, the business must be one key only, is collaboration. That's a good and a powerful word to work together. So there's one thing, because the US is the second largest market in the Indonesian have a market in the US is the second largest. It's around 23.3 billion business. This is a huge business, and we need to get more through the working together. And then the second is Felicia told us, if you want to do business in Maryland, especially, please do so. And Felicia and with her team will helping us. So, like I said, that we learn from the Chinese community. They bring their people from China to do business in Maryland or in the US. That's the good thing that we can get more. When you open the business in here, you will see the more opportunity. That's the good thing. And then Felicia also mentioned to you there is a lot of benefit when you do business in Maryland, because there is a lot of program that they're going to offer. I'm so interested with the Maryland will assess you about 400-hour consultation. That's a huge hour for consultation. It's expensive for the consultation in here, but Maryland will give a free, right? Okay, and then the last one is there is a lot of question from our colleague in Indonesia, if they can bring their business to Maryland. One thing, please contact us as your partner in India. We are diaspora business. We can be your big partner. So the only thing is start to communicate, and then if you have any question more, just email to the IA, Indonesian American Association. So my colleague and us will be communicate with you directly. And the last one is we will send you the presentation of Felicia. Is there any other, probably I saw this Pak Haris, the agriculture Attaché. If you can a little bit, 3-5 minutes on the agriculture business. So this is interesting. You want to say something?
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Rahmat, and also again for Alicia. We met again. Okay, thank you very much. So I think as an agricultural attaché, this is a good opportunity to be taken for the diaspora and also for Indonesian exporters. I just want to probably respond a little bit, probably if Felicia also can share related links that we can read and learn furthermore to know the way Maryland do business, and probably also if you can also give us information about the trade exhibition agenda will be held in Maryland soon. So I think this information, IAA, MIMI, and also the Embassy of Indonesia will collaborate together to make it happen. Probably someday we can make a kind of a business matching event collaborated with all these consulate general, the 5 consulate general spread in US. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bari. Okay, I think everyone, this is the end of this program. Felicia, thank you so much. You such a wonderful sources for us. So please, if you still have any question, just chat, put on the chat, and then we will record everything here. Thank you, everyone.
Felicia, for your support. We appreciate it.
We want to take picture. Everybody, please don't leave yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Please turn on your camera so we can see your face.
All right. Hold on.
All right. That's good.
Yeah. I think like the last one is Oscar. Can you make a last remark as a chairman?
Yes. Again, everybody, thank you very much. Of course, Felicia, thank you very much to have you here. Pak Hari, Pak Rahmat for hosting. By the way, Pak Rahmat is now a representative of Global CEO Foundation in Indonesia with Lia Sunda Santoso as the secretary. Yeah, Pak Rahmat, yeah.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. And everybody, thanks for attending tonight's event. We, from IAA, our goal is to help the community here in local DMV, but also to help Indonesian diaspora to expand their business here. Of course, our principle is we want to have an abundance mentality that by sharing with everybody, you're not losing anything. So again, thank you very much. I'll give it back to Haris.
Okay, thank you very much. Pak Victor, can you help us to take a picture? Yeah, before everybody leave, I think this is really good program, and thank you very much for everybody. Good resources, a lot of stuff to learn and digest. So hopefully, this will continue, the dialogue will continue, and then become something. So we can do something together. So okay, let's take a picture.
Okay, let's take a picture. There are 4 pages. Bear with me. 1, 2, 3, halaman kedua. 1, 2, 3, halaman ketiga. 1, 2, 3, halaman keempat, halaman terakhir. 1, 2, 3. Oke, terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Victor.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Kalau masih mau ngobrol, silakan. Kita akan.
Terima kasih Pak Haris.
Terima kasih Pak Rahmat.
Thank you. Terima kasih Pak Osman.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Saya dari KJRI San Francisco.
We'll open the mic for everybody to chat. So
dari San Francisco,
to chat.
Thank you, Felicia.
Loose chat.
Thank you, Felicia.
Thank you very much. Have a good
Kalau ada yang mau ngobrol,
silakan. Kalau mau ada yang mau ngobrol, silakan ini. Just say hi apa.
Selamat, acaranya bagus. Congratulations to IAA.
Maaf saya telat VTR.
Nggak apa-apa. Yang dari
Thanks for
KJRI,
joining.
Pak dari KJRI. Tadi ada Pak dari New York, satu lagi Pak Nugroho.
Pak Herbani.
Saya dari San Francisco, Pak.
Woi, selamat datang Bapak. Pak Nugroho.
Jauh, Pak, dari ke Washington naik pesawat tadi, Pak.